Okay, today's co-planning tip is all about how to structure an agenda for co-planning. So there's dozens of agendas out in the world for how to structure your co-planning time with your co-teacher. There's tons out there. You can Google them, you can make your own. I have some also, so if you shoot me a DM, I can send you a few of my favorite templates. But one of the things when you're setting up your co-planning time is you really want to think about how much time do you have together. Ideally, you have weekly built in and you have at least 30 minutes, ideally 45 or 60, at least once a week where you're meeting. So you want your agenda to meet those time constraints. You want to have time to review student data. You want to have time to talk about grades. You want time to talk about the upcoming lessons. You also need time to reflect on prior lessons. You need time to talk about accommodations and supports needed for children and really be able to have that deep time as a partnership. You also need time to talk about each other and to get to know each other and nurture your relationship. You also might need time to just talk about frustrations, but you need an agenda. If you don't, what I've seen happen is we can spend half the meeting talking about what we're upset about. Maybe it was a really tough day, maybe there was a student behavior need, and you find yourself 30 minutes into your 60-minute block having had talked about your frustrations. It is healthy to talk about what's bothering you and get it off your head, but there needs to be a time limit on it so you can also stay productive. So I recommend a vent section if needed at the top of your agenda. Get those top either highlights and or frustrations off your head in those first 5 minutes, and then you both agree that you will go ahead and put that aside for the rest of today's session so that you can be productive with the rest of your agenda. Without an agenda, it's easy for that to hijack the entire meeting. I've seen it happen. It's happened to me. It's happened to so many people I've worked with. So that structured vent time is actually really healthy and a great way to maximize your time with your partner. The other thing I would do in your agenda is I would also add feedback. Every week, add a section to give each other feedback. This prevents problems down the line. You ultimately want to get paired with a co-teacher you like working with, who is a great person to collaborate with, and you don't want to have to change partners all the time. So one of the ways to keep your partnership really solid, if that's within your control, is to really ensure that you are giving each other meaningful and respectful feedback along the way so we can grow and change in our practice. If there's something you didn't love that happened this week, make sure you get it out of your head. Make sure that you have a conversation about it respectfully. Feedback is a gift. Feedback is meant to help us grow. So give that respectfully and get into the habit of doing feedback loops every single week with your co-teaching partner, even if it's 90 seconds per partner. What did I like that you did this week? What is something maybe I think you or us could do differently? Do it every week, and you're going to build this muscle where it just feels natural to just be open and honest about what's working, what isn't. Try those couple of tips. Let me know how they work. If you want agenda resources, feel free to shoot me a DM and I'll send you some of my favorites.